From the CBW Radio UK studios in Chelmsford, this is Off the Record with Big C and his trusty companion, Stinky Pete.
Yes, this is Big C, and I have Stinky Pete with me, and I have Jazzy Jeff with me at the nick of time, by the barest of margins, as the commentator said when England beat, was it New Zealand in the Cricket World Cup a few years ago? Brilliant when they got him out at the very end. Yes, so welcome, chaps, to Off the Record. Thanks for joining me again this week. What have we got for you today? And thank you very much, Shaggy, of course, as usual. What have we got for you today? Well, this episode 167 overall is Series 6, episode 27. So a further 3, and assuming again that we are recommissioned, we should be entering season 7. All new, all singing and all dancing. I think, Jeff, you can do the dancing, and Stinky Pete, you can do the singing. You're always telling you're a singer. You're a singer. So
I certainly ain't.
So's Jeff, though, I know.
Yeah, but he dances better than I do because I dance like a drunk epileptic. So that's definitely not my fault.
Okay, well, we'll work on that then. Okay, so how are you guys done? How you been doing this week? Busy, I hear, Pete. Yeah.
Yes, I have been busy and will continue to be until about 5 minutes before I jump on the Eurostar to go on holiday. So.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it will continue to be for the next 30 years.
Well, yeah, there is that too. Don't go down that route. This is a conversation Jeff and I had yesterday. It didn't make me feel any better.
No, well, I'm sure tonight will make you feel better. Always good to laugh. And hello, Jazzy Jeff.
Hi, young sir. Are you
From
good?
sunny Buckhurst Hill.
The best Buckhurst Hill in the world.
The best Buckhurst Hill in the world. The best school in the world, wasn't it? It was
No,
great.
it was awful. I hated it.
Did you?
Oh, couldn't stand it.
Oh, really?
No, just to put this into perspective, he hated school, period. It didn't matter which school he'd gone to.
There
So-
were 7 years of complete.
Oh, look, he's gone again.
Oh, it's frozen again. Oh, no, we
He's
can't.
frozen.
No,
Am I gone again?
yeah,
Yeah.
like,
No, you're back again. What's
you're
the
back
matter with
again
your
now.
internet?
yeah,
Okay.
it's playing up. You're interweb.
But my internet is unstable. Well, that makes,
Well,
at least two of us.
Well, if you go again, remember, you just come back again. I'm sure that
Just
Shaggy will
wander back in when you're ready.
Yeah, just wander back in. Right. Okay, Spurs. What's happening with Ange then?
No
Oh,
one
yeah,
knows.
there is.
No one.
No.
Oh, I'll tell you what, I got a little bit of a hashtag ITK.
Oh, have you? Go on.
Ooh.
Go on.
Not really.
This was
But
this
no,
was the ITK
Josh-
off set
Josh,
off.
my number
Josh.
one son, the eldest son, who's he's down in Nice. Well, actually, he's in Marbella. Is it Marbella?
Marbella.
Marbella at the moment. He's performing somewhere at some swanky hotel. Something like €1,500 a night. You know, that sort of place.
Is
The
that
sort of
what
place
you
you
think,
probably stay in Dubai or wherever, isn't it? I would have thought it's pretty expensive there too. But anyway, I mentioned this on air. I don't know whether you heard me say it earlier on, but he bumped into Jack Grealish. I mean, who'd have thought? He'd have thought Jack Grealish would have been in Marbella. Not the kind of player, really.
Big shock, isn't it?
It's a bit of a
Really?
shot, a bit of a playboy.
It was that on Margate, you know.
He was sitting by the pool with the pina coladas or whatever, and he happened to just chat to him, and he didn't get any tidbits from him or anything. But you know, he said, "Oh, you should come to Spurs, mate." He goes, "Because you might get some game time." And he says, "Yeah," in a Birmingham accent, you know, which I wouldn't really want to try, or could I? Could I? Hang about. Get in the phase of mind. You'll have heard that a lot recently. Everyone keeps telling me that. So I don't know whether that means he's going to come. I don't know. But at the same hotel, he saw and met a good old chat with Robbie Keane. And he says to Robbie Keane, if Robbie Keane is the font of all knowledge, so what's happening in all this then with Ange? He goes, "Oh, I'm not going to bother with the Irish accent. We'll probably get cancelled." He said, "Oh, he's gone. I've heard he's gone." So whether that's gospel or just Robbie Keane reading the papers and listening to what everyone else, that's what he said. So if he goes, Robbie Keane is in the know, and so's Josh.
if
But
you
I don't
read
know.
the
I don't know.
papers, then Son's going to Saudi Arabia.
Yes. What?
We've signed
Romero's going
Danso on
Romero's
permanent
going to
loan.
Atletico Madrid.
Yes.
Yeah, so I basically I ignore everything
Treat
until
that
I
with
see
a
it.
pinch of salt when it actually happens. Yes.
Yeah,
All
when
right.
it happens, we'll deal with it.
Let's get on with this. 1975 we're covering today, singles wise. And I don't know about you, but I mean, not the greatest of years, I would say, is summarize it. Um, Mentioned to you just before we came on air, Pete, actually, before Jeff joined us, that it sort of came twixt the glam era, didn't it? And then the disco and the new wave and stuff. It sort of was almost a nothing year in a way. I don't know whether you got any strongish views or not strongish views on the year as a whole, either of you?
I think it's an awful year.
Ah, right, okay.
I looked through all the stuff and thought I can pick out. I mean, actually, I can pick out one of my two favourite songs, but them aside, I could have picked out anything and gone, yeah, that's okay, or meh, you know.
That
Like
sounds like
'76 was so good that they must have been saving it all up.
maybe so. Maybe so. What about you then, Pete? Not
Well,
great either.
on the massive long list of singles that there was there, I kind of went through and go, are there any of these which I would be horrified if I never heard it again? And the answer to that was only one.
Ooh.
So on that whole long list, there is one which would be in my top 10 or 15 singles. But all of the rest, I could pretty well take or leave. Not, there was some stuff that I liked, and I looked at it and thought, well, if we're going to talk about singles, I could talk about these. They're all right. But there's not really any which leaps off the page and goes, yeah, absolutely. So I looked at albums instead, and I looked at singles off the albums, and that was a lot of better choices. But most of those were in the charts in the United States of America rather than in
United States of
United
America.
Kingdom.
Ooh. Okay. Is that that's close to the Gulf of America, isn't it?
Yes, it is. The Gulf
I
of
know it well.
It's very close to the tax haven of Canada and Mexico.
yes.
Well, okay. I did a little bit of a summary, which maybe very briefly.
Yeah, go
75.
for it.
I've said, right, that 75, as I said before, I think it sort of comes between eras, really. So it's a bit of a filler year in a way. There were it showed a little bit of promise, I've written here, for some bands, but in fact yielded very little. I mean, for example, there was supposed to be the next teen chart force, as it were, in Pilot. I don't even remember them, but that really wasn't to be. I mean, there was people like Back Turner Overdrive from Canada. They didn't line up in 75 as much as they did in 74 and the potential they showed. Arrows were another poppy band that really floundered in 75. Even Susie Quattro, her chart appeals seemed to drop a little bit after her previous 2 years. Slade, who were massive in the previous couple of years, they were pretty much in America most of the year, so they only had a couple of chart hits, I think, albeit were pretty good. There was a lot of gimmicky, what's the word? You know what I mean? Number ones that are abnormally, almost comedy type records, really.
Granddad-esque.
Ish. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm talking humor wise, there were likes of the Goodies.
Yes, there were.
Was Mike Reed.
Yes.
Horrific. And all that. Jasper Carrot.
Yes.
And whose one brilliant quote still tickles me about Glenn Hoddle when he said he found God, didn't he? He said, I heard that
Yeah.
Glenn Hoddle found God. And he's like, crikey. Again, I'm going to do a Birmingham accent here. Crikey, what a pass. No, that's not very Birmingham. What a pass that was. And, of course, Laurel and Hardy near the end of the year too. Trail of the Lone Pine, which I quite enjoyed, actually. But again, you're not going to find it in any greatest records of all time.
No.
In fact, one of the biggest selling singles of all time, of course, happened at the end of the year, which we won't go.
Can we just skip over that now?
Yeah, can we just skip over that one? Just pass that on. Do not go
I'll
there.
slip up then. A Space Oddity came back in the chart and got to number one. And another record that was never a single until this year. But I think both of you don't like it, particularly Jeff. It was originally an album track in 1971. I haven't included it because it's so obviously me, which would have been Imagine. That wasn't a single over here. It was in the States. It wasn't a single here until 75.
I like Imagine.
I thought it was you that didn't like it. Maybe it was Pete then.
No, it's me. It's just, yeah.
Oh, okay, fair enough. No, I love Imagine, and I would have it in probably if I really looked at my top 10 favourites of the year, that would probably be in it as singles. But it's kind of a cheat because it was 4 years old by that point.
Well, there's another one of those, isn't there? Jeff and I were talking about this last night, and he vehemently denied that it was in this year. And I said, "No, it is. I know this." And he went, "No,
it wasn't."
And then proved, yes, but it actually was. So
Tell me the song.
We're talking "Have You Seen Her" by the Shylights.
Well, yeah,
which was in 1971, but it was re-released in 1975 as a double A side with "Oh Girl," and it got to number 5. So Yah Boo sucks and bollocks, because I said it was.
It's
Have
a
you seen? I'm just checking in my
1971 song. I've got the single here.
I've got the single.
Yeah, originally,
I know you have. It was also in the charts in 1975.
See, sadly, Pete is correct here, Jeff. It was number 3 in January 72. Obviously, it was released in the States in 71. And then, in June 75, it came back in the chart with "Oh Girl" on the other side, and it was number 5. But as you said earlier, let's gloss over that, shall we?
Absolutely.
You being right about
no, I just like to
over where Pete might be right.
I just like to prove that I'm right occasionally.
It's like a clock every day.
I bow to your better knowledge, sir.
The clock's going to be right at least once a day. Right. I'll tell you what, if I was going to try, mate, I'm not going to bother, but I started scribbling down like a Pete hate records in 1975, and I've got a number that you might hear. And some of them are like these gimmicky ones. One we previously mentioned, which is Bohemian Rhapsody. Another one is Sailing, Rod Stewart, which I know Pete hates. Maybe that's you that doesn't like that either, Jeff.
I don't like it, no.
I don't mind it at all. It's not on my list, but I don't mind it. There was an absolutely awful number 1. It was 2 weeks. An awful rendition of David Gates of Bread fame, If.
By Mike Reid.
Really?
No, not by Mike Reid, but by a New York fictional cop who sucked lollipops.
Oh, Telly Savalas.
Yes, of course. He just talked his way through it. It was
that's right.
It's 1,000 words, baby. Who loves you? Awful.
Oh, sorry. Do not call us baby again. Completely unacceptable behaviour.
That was quote Telly.
Yeah, but you didn't say that.
Baby. Unquote.
or quote Kojak. Theo. Was it Theo Kojak?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And another record, another gimmicky one, which got to number 1 in 75. There's a lot of them in this year, which I don't mind, is Barbados.
By Typically Tropical.
Typically Tropical.
Yeah.
Captain Tobias Wilcock.
No stereotyping.
Not going to do the accent. Not going to do the accent.
Stop with the accents. Good.
All right. What about Lovely Boy? Lovely Boy. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it Whispering Grass?
Whispering Grass.
Yeah.
It ain't half hot, Mum. And I forget the name.
No stereotyping there either.
No, none at all. What was his name? I can't think. Donna Stell, Windsor Davis, wasn't it? He doesn't sound Welsh with a name like that, does he? Windsor Davis. It's either that or he came from Berkshire. And Donna Stell, who did have a good voice, actually. And the other comical record we got to number 1 was Billy Connolly's cover of Tammy Wynette's Divorce.
Yeah, which actually, I mean, at the time, I quite enjoyed.
Yeah, I know, but you don't look at it. It's not like you think.
No, absolutely not. No.
Right.
And
Right, I started
There's a
last time.
place for humorous records, I think, in life, but I'm
Is it the
not certain
toilet?
that the chart is it.
No. Okay. Right, I started last week, so let's go reverse alphabetical this time. We'll go with Big P.
Did you have a big P before you started?
He did have a big P. He always has a PP, a PP.
Pre-P.
a pre-match P. You do not want to be peeing during the match.
No.
Okay, so I'm going to do a few of the singles, which were actually singles before I moved to the albums. So I'm going to go with one of the songs which would be in my list of favourites, and that was number 2 in the run.
I know what it is. I know what it is already.
Of course you do, because you knew I'd take it. So
I knew you'd take it, and it's not Christmas though.
No,
it's only June, but we'll allow this. It's Greg Lake.
It is. I Believe in Father Christmas.
Oh, Jeff must love that as well, do you?
I do like it. I do.
One of my very favourite things. It's my favourite Christmas thing, along with Gaudete, and it was kept off the top by Bohemian Rhapsody.
You know what?
Another reason for absolutely despising Bohemian Rhapsody. So, but if I'm going to go with singles, then I Believe in Father Christmas. Easy.
Okay.
It's all downhill from there, as far as I'm concerned.
I'm not commenting.
Fair enough.
I knew you'd have it. I knew you'd love it, Greg
Well,
Lake.
that's why I did, because I thought Colin will know that I'm. So it's he knew that she knew anyway.
Yeah, I know. It's one of those. It's that little Kurzel Flyers song, isn't it?
Yes, that's right.
Or does he know?
She knows that
I know that he knows.
Yeah,
that's the one.
Good old Kurzel Flyers.
We went to Southend at the weekend actually. Kurzel's still there, I think, but not as a venue anymore.
Up the end, yes. Well, it was still there when I went last.
Yeah, it's still there. We used to go there. I was in the 80s. Used to go up the I never went to a gig there or anything. In fact, one of these singles I might use later on may have been performed live at the Kurzel, funnily enough. But yeah, I used to go play Space Invaders. Ooh, how exciting in those days. Do you remember computer games? We had to go out to play them. Right. Okay. So Jeff, what have we got from you?
Well, I might as well start with the one which I can't live without. In fact, I can't live without it so much that I would consider having it at my funeral, as the way out or whatever. It's one of my top 3 favourite songs. Got to number 3 in the UK in the summer of '75. Grammy Award for Best Pop Instrumental.
It's an instrumental.
I didn't know this until I was looking all this up.
I know what it is.
Go on.
Van McCoy.
Van McCoy, the Soul City Symphony. The Hustle. I didn't know this until I started looking it up, and I've always loved it, and I didn't know why I loved it. If we go back to our Paul Simon moment for a second.
Yes.
Van McCoy and the Soul City Symphony on The Hustle, Steve Gadd on drums, Richard T on keyboard, Eric Gale on guitar.
So it's basically Paul Simon's band.
Plus all the and the whatever, but it's just a great disco, line dancing disco at its best, I think it's a lovely, lovely song. Did you know he died of a heart attack at the age of 39?
Van McCoy, no, I didn't know that.
Was that because he discovered he was number 1?
He wasn't.
No. He did quite a lot of stuff before that, but 1979, popped his clogs.
Hell of a way to go.
Which is a shame, really, because he did some good stuff. But The Hustle is, for me, is up there, right at the very top. It's
a follow-up hit, didn't they? Van McCoy. They had a follow-up hit from The Hustle.
Oh, they had a few.
The Shuffle, I think it was called.
They did one called The Shuffle, yeah. Didn't they do one called The Spanish Hustle as well or something?
Not particularly adventurous with the names, are they?
I do actually have a Soul City Symphony
album.
Wow. which I've had for years, and yeah, but the Hustle is just a classic as far as I'm concerned.
Have you put that you're having it at your funeral in your will?
No, I'm still contemplating it. It might be quite good fun going down to it, mightn't it?
I would say so. Yes, definitely, absolutely.
I always remember the Hustle. It was either, and Sarah, my wife, got upset because I can never remember. It must have been Sarah that did it. Like, you know, when they used to do not Zumba or my mum used to do something called music and movement.
Yeah.
And it's the sort of thing that you'd expect them to do.
Yeah.
That music too, doing the.
It's disco line dancing. That's what it is. But it was taken off the back. There was a dance back in the early 70s in the LA nightclubs. It was called that they called the Hustle, and that's what they've set the music to it.
Excellent. It wasn't a number one, was it? It was number 3. You said, wasn't it?
3. Yeah.
I always thought it was a number one.
It should have been a number one.
Right. Okay. Let's move on swiftly. I just want to have time for the other ones. Kind of mentioned this earlier on in the intro, but since I did, I'm going to mention it now. I'm going for Slade, actually. That's a great single in February 75. Only got to number 15, which was probably it was the first single of theirs to not make the top 5 since their debut hit in 1971. As I said, they were away in the States most of the year, and they were changing their style a little bit. And they had the film Slade in Flame. They'd already had a hit, Far, Far Away, which was a number 2 hit from that, which was it's a great song, but not the foot stomping rockers that they had been doing previously. And then they did this song, which is, I think it's a great song with it's got a little piano, Jim Lee on the piano at the start, gentle piano intro before Noddy Holder comes in, and then you've got the orchestral arrangement is on there as well. And the song, what you know what the song is?
I noticed there was one. It was on one of my lists, but I can't remember now.
The song is How Does It Feel?
How Does It Feel? That's right. Yeah.
Well, whether I play it tomorrow or not is another matter.
Well, it depends how you feel, I guess.
It
Boom,
does. Very good. How does it feel? Yes. Slade, how does it feel for me?
Excellent.
Okay.
Back to you, sir.
I will go with another, and I will go with another actual single. This got to number 6 in the early part of the year. It is by I think a Scottish band, and it is "Pick Up the Pieces" by Average White Band.
Average White Band.
Another instrumental.
I've got it as one of my shout outs.
Oh, have you? It's good. I mean, you know, in a pretty crap year, it was a bit of a highlight. So yeah.
Is it an instrumental when they do shout, "Pick up the pieces" a number of times?
So therefore, it's an instrumental in the same way that half the Focus stuff with yodeling is an instrumental.
I suppose, yeah. All right.
So can't beat a bit of yodeling.
You can't beat a bit. Well, you can after a curry and a few pints.
Didn't two of whatever they were called? What were they called again?
Average White Band.
Yes, Average White. Didn't they go on to play with Paul McCartney?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Hamish was it Hamish?
The keyboard player was one of them.
Yeah. Oh, I can't think of his name.
I thought you were just doing a Donald Trump impression there for a minute.
My fingers are too big. Look.
That's true. Yeah, they're way too big.
Not orange enough.
But they did, yeah. Two of them went on to be part of his backing band.
Is it Wickens? Paul Wickens, is it?
I don't know. I really
keyboard player for McCartney, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know either. I think there was a guy. Yeah, maybe in the 90s.
Definitely was a guy.
Yeah, maybe in the 90s. I thought it was Hamish somebody.
May well have been. That's a good Scottish name.
It is. So it's
Hot Shot Hamish. Remember him?
Hot Shot Hamish? No.
Hot Shot Hamish.
Was he in the Tiger
He
magazine?
was Tiger and Jag, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Tiger. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he was.
Hot Shot Hamish. There we go.
Tiger. Was that's a comic, was it?
Yeah. Skid Solo and Roy the Rovers.
Roy the Rovers, yeah.
These things
and,
come back to you.
Who was the Indian wrestler, the Red Indian wrestler? Johnny something or other.
No idea.
Anyway, they were all in it. Martin's Marvelous Mini.
Marvelous Mini, yeah. Anyway, there we go.
We had a question in the quiz the other night actually about the Beano comic. Did you read the Beano? Yeah, I remember.
Not very often. That was Dennis the Menace, wasn't it?
Dennis the Menace is the only one I could think of. We got the answer in the end, but the question was something: who was the naughtiest girl in Beanosville or whatever it's called? I don't know, Beano Land.
I can't remember. I only remember Dennis the Menace.
It was. I know the answer. It was Minnie the Minx.
Minnie the Minx.
Yeah. She was a minx, that girl.
She was.
Because I originally thought, is it Minnie the Moocher? That was like a jazz song, wasn't it? Minnie the Moocher.
Minnie the Moocher is a jazz song, yeah.
But I think
it sounds like something you might be arrested for, to be honest. So I think we should.
Maybe. We'll mooch on. We'll mooch on.
Is it right?
Average white band. That's it. That was all there was to say. In a bad year, it was all right.
Number 4 in the UK in May 1975. One of my favourite songs, definitely one of my favourite songs to play. Written by Larry Weiss.
Oh, W-E-I-S-S.
Like Rachel was.
I Ho Silver Lining and such things of that nature. One of the most cringe-worthy videos there's ever been. But great guitarist, great vocalist, superb song, country pop at its best.
It was a band, you say?
Solo artist.
Female?
Male.
Okay, I'm not going to Stand By Your Man then.
No, that's on my That's on my shout outs as well, though.
All right, okay. Stand By Your Man, but that was a hit in '68 over in the States, wasn't it? And ironically, by the time it was number 1 in the States, Stand By Your Man, she was on her 5th husband or something, which I thought was quite ironic.
She's stood by lots of men.
Yes, definitely.
Had a DIVO RCE with most of them.
Any other clues? Or we
used to play with the Beach Boys.
He was a Beach Boy, or just play?
I
know what it is.
Go on.
I know what it is. Is it Rhinestone Cowboy?
It is Rhinestone Cowboy.
I'm doing well with these. I'm doing well.
Well, hang on.
I love it. It's such fun to play. It's a brilliant song. But if you watch the video, at the end of the video, he's like on his horse and he's doing this. He's waving his arm like a lasso. It is awful.
But that was one of my 4 that I actually chose from the singles.
Well,
so that's
now you've only got
excellent.
Now you've only got 3 left.
A Rhinestone Cowboy is a really good song.
It's beautifully written.
But I didn't think it was that early in the year. I thought it was number 1 down in the kind of October, Novembers. I thought it was number 4 down in May.
Yeah, it wasn't the number 1 here. In the States, probably.
No, I didn't mean number 1. Sorry, it was number 4, but I thought it was number 4 later in the year because I thought I wrote my list down January down to December because I've got I Believe in Father Christmas and Golden Years at the bottom, and they were both December. So I thought that Glenn Campbell was much later in the year. Anyway, that's fine.
I can tell you when it entered the chart here, and oh dear, Jeff.
Oh, wrong again.
Yeah. That's twice right.
Was it May in the States?
It could have been. I haven't got the States one here, but yeah.
But it was October, November in the UK, wasn't it?
It was. Yeah, you're going to say it again, are you? Going to comment that you got it right again?
No,
it was
just
October. It entered the chart.
For the sake of correctness.
Correctness.
It's a great song.
So it's a shame I haven't got Rhinestone Cowboy as well. And then we're going to have a full set. I wonder if there'll be any that we've all got. Probably unlikely, isn't it?
Of one of my 10, I don't think there will be.
No,
I don't think anyone's going to have my other one that I'm going to mention before I move to the albums.
Okay, let's move on to another one for me then. This, again, one of my favourite records. I love this one from April. It was his only solo hit single in the UK. Great White, the heavy metal band, took it to number 5 in the States in 1989, but his original version of it was a hit. Only got to number 14 over here. First of many collaborations. Sorry?
Philadelphia Freedom?
Not Philadelphia Freedom. One of this guy's first, or many collaborations in his solo career with Mick Ronson.
That'll be Ian Hunter then.
It's Ian Hunter, yeah. So he's singing to a girl who seems to take up with lots of musicians he knows from the past experience that he can't, and he knows that he can't count on her, basically. So, and she gets friendly with the drummer. These are all from the lyrics. I'm not reading specifically the lyrics. Friendly with the drummer, who was originally as a groupie, but Ian Hunter takes her shine as he's the lead singer. He takes her in, and she learns that rock and roll is a hard life, lots of travel. Heaters not working on buses. Does this ring any bells to you? As she gets the hang of it, though, she starts messing around with other guys and has some other guy's picture on another guy's jacket. The single, oh, my friend told me you're the best lick in town. Does that line not ring any bells to you? I assume he means guitar lick, obviously.
I was just about to say, we're on dodgy ground here. We're in nice beaver territory.
Right. Once bitten, twice shy.
Absolutely.
Have you finished giggling over there?
Oh dear.
Oh, shall I repeat the name of the song?
No, it was once bitten, twice shy. We got it.
All right, okay. I'm glad such mirth has been discovered there.
It was the lick that did it.
Yeah. Well, I love the song anyway. Ian Hunter, once bitten, twice shy.
Cool.
Pete.
Okay, so my final selection of the actual singles is it got to number 8 at the back end of the year, so kind of October, November time. And it is by 2 members of a very famous band from sort of 67 through into the early 70s. And then one of them peeled off and had a solo career and joined together with one of his mates for this particular song, which features, well, it has singing, but it's also features the instrument that is referred to in the title.
Is it? Can I have a guess at this one as well? Since I'll be doing so well.
It's your podcast, Colin. You can do what you like.
Is it Justin Hayward and John Lodge?
Yes.
And blue guitar.
Blue guitar, yeah.
He's on fire.
You are on fire.
Who was the original band?
Moody Blues.
The Bloody Moons, yeah.
They were around a little earlier than 67, though. They had a.
They were, but I just that they're kind of
that's with those in probably. Justin, I don't think they were in them in the early stages actually.
No, they weren't.
That was Penny Lane and the like, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Go Now, in fact, was their first number 1.
Well, they allegedly.
Well, they certainly were proggy, yes. And the early stuff certainly was like Seventh Sojourn and all that kind of thing, which I got very recently from my dealer. The aforementioned.
Yeah.
All the Scottish listeners turn off.
Yes. There goes all of our Scottish listeners in one go.
My sincere apologies.
No, please feel free.
No apology necessary.
Colin's just ruined all relationships with the population of Birmingham, so it's going downhill fast.
Well, I think the accent was quite apt. I thought quite reasonable. Oh, I've written that down under your name, Jeff. That was one of Pete's. It's because he had Rhinestone Cowboy. So, Jeff, what have you got? So, blue guitar. Yeah, not a bad song, actually. Quite sort of...
I don't know it at all.
blue guitar. It's quite slow, isn't it? Yeah,
Da,
yeah.
I might know it's the
da,
right
da,
tune,
da.
but I'm not certain about that.
It's not a bad song. It's not a bad song.
No. Okay. Jeff,
Speaking of not bad
there you go.
songs,
Yes.
this one never made the charts in this country at all,
Oh,
but it did make the charts in the US. Got to number 6 in the US. It's a summer sound, Rolling Roads, trippy, sweet, close harmony, Eaglesy typey sort of song, written by John and Joanna Hall. Should have got in the charts here, but it didn't. You played it on your show a week or so ago, I believe.
did I really?
You did.
Well, that doesn't narrow it down, though, does it?
I appreciate it doesn't.
Ooh. Summery, Eagles-ish sounding. They're obviously American then.
Yeah, it's an American band, close harmony band. It might only be 2 of them. I'm not quite certain about that, to be honest. So I'll just tell you that'd be easy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, go on
Yeah,
then.
go
Tell
for
us.
It is
Go on.
Dance With Me by Orleans.
Orleans. I was going to say Orleans. I thought that was 76, though. But
July
you might be
75.
right.
Well, listen, the way that I'm going tonight, it could have been 1988 for all I know.
Strange you should say that.
But according to the website that I was looking on, it was July 75.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, I love the I had the album, I think, actually, that was on. For the life of me, I can't remember what it was called, but yeah, good song.
It is a good song, and I don't know why it didn't make it over here. Probably because it's not English enough. It's too West Coast, I imagine.
It was a hit in 1988. No, it wasn't.
Don't wind him up. He's suffering enough already. Poor bloke.
He's suffering.
I've got broad shoulders.
Yeah, strange. No, it wasn't anything. You're right. It wasn't a hit over here, which is odd.
It's a shame because it's a great song. Your turn,
Agreed.
Carl.
You can request that tomorrow. Are you around tomorrow to request any of these? Or not?
I'm in and out. I'll request a few. That would be lovely.
Okay, all right. And you too, Pete. Right, me. Oh, what do we have next? Oh, here's one that I think Jeff might like, and probably Stinks will as well. It's live. It's not at the Kurzel, like I suggested one of the other songs that I've got, maybe, if I choose to mention that one. It was recorded at the Lyceum. Does that narrow it down for you?
Yes. It
Yes.
is Bob Marley and the Wailers.
It's Bob Marley and the Wailers live version, much better than the studio version.
Of
In my
No
The
Crime.
lady, no criminal works.
Correct. That's the one.
Song.
Um,
Fabulous.
I couldn't have that. I couldn't have a 75 without mentioning No Woman, No Cry. The single version,
Where did it get to in the charts?
number 8.
I don't know why I didn't pick that up because I would have definitely had that.
Yeah, I thought one. Well, yeah, it could have been one that all three of us had actually. So I thought
Oh, it's
Jeff
brilliant.
might like.
I haven't actually got it, but I should have had it. It's a marvelous song.
And me the same. I love that album a great deal, but that is the standout track.
I got the full version. I got first on Legend,
Yes.
which I thought is
Which
one
I
of those
also
albums
got.
that everyone should have. Yeah.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
I had the single when it came out on Island. It's with the orange and green, isn't it?
Yeah, right.
Well, Island, in fact,
Yes,
and blue.
It's called
as well,
Island because it's kind of an island. You know?
kind of an island, yes. What I didn't know briefly was that the songwriting credit is actually given to a guy called Vincent Ford, who was a friend of Bob Marley. At least the lyrics. He's a songwriter. He was a friend of Bob Marley who ran a soup kitchen in Trenchtown, ghetto of Kingston, Jamaica, where Bob Marley grew up. And I mean, he mentions the government yards of Trenchtown, a public housing project in the song. Royalty payments received by Ford assured that his efforts would continue in his soup kitchen. And of course, the Fugees covered it.
They did. Yep.
And the single version I had, of course, was edited, sadly, down to about 3.5 minutes, I think it was. But you've got to listen to the full-length version. It's about 7 or 8 minutes. It's even better. 7 minutes, I think it is, yeah. So No Woman, No Cry. I don't know whether it's a hit in the States. Don't think it was.
Have you seen the documentary, the Bob Marley documentary, where he talks about that? It's fantastic. It's really good. It's really good to see.
Saw the film. Saw the Bob Marley film, One Love, was it?
Yeah, no, this was a documentary. It was on years ago. Yeah. But it's nice because it turns up in his Spurs kit at one point.
Good man. Everyone's a Spurs fan, or should be.
Indeed.
Pete?
Right, I'm now swapping to albums which have singles on them. So,
yes,
there's an album here. Piss off. There's an album here which was the breakout album of the band in question, and it spawned 3 singles, all of which I love. But weirdly, and I can't believe this because they were on the radio, on Johnny Walker and on, all of the Radio 1 DJs pretty well constantly in 1975. You switch on the radio and one of these 3 was on. One got to number 12, 2 both got to number 23. And it is the album which is credited, certainly in the UK, as being the breakout album of the band in question.
Right. Can I have a guess at this one as well?
Of course, it's your show. You can do what you like.
And the song you're choosing is...
I don't care. Any one of the 3. Actually, I'll choose the one which was number 23. One of the 2 that got to number 23.
Then I would plump for one of those 3 songs is One of These Nights.
You are right. And that is the one I, in fact, chose.
I should retire now.
Good. Lion Eyes and Take It to the Limits being the other side.
Yes. Take It to the Limit got to number 12. Lion Eyes only got to number 23.
Yeah, so, Take It to the Limit wasn't released till 76, actually. But One of These Nights... Yeah, it's a great song. I'm a real Lion Eyes fan, it has to be said. And I
love the lyrics of Lying Eyes.
Yes.
But the song... In my list of Eagles songs which I love, there's The Last Resort, which is my favourite, and then there's 2 off this album, One of These Nights and the Voyage of the Sorcerer. So that's and it was the first Eagles album I bought as well. So anyway, so 3 singles, 2 in 1975.
It was probably the first Eagles album anyone bought over here, wasn't it? Because
it probably was.
But
yeah,
the first Eagles album I bought.
I bought on the board.
The first album I bought was Desperado.
Oh, really? Oh, you were advanced for your age.
He bought it in 1993.
So yeah, I think I got On the Border. I think I got On the Border as an album. But since you mentioned these nights,
I didn't have to buy it because Pete had it.
True. Yes.
Since you mentioned One of These Nights, yeah, Lion Eyes. That's one of mine. I've got to have that in.
Oh, is it? All right. Okay.
Yeah, I'll have to put that in. I'll snipped ahead of you there, Jeff. But I'm going to say, since you've mentioned the Eagles, such a great song. As you said, lyrically, I think
it's superb.
I think it's a minute or so too long, personally.
You think it's you like the single version then, do you? I prefer the album version of about 6 minutes.
I think it's a brilliant song, absolutely brilliant. Yeah. But the album version is just a little bit too long, I think.
Okay, maybe that's why they cut it down. But yeah, just the story of how they were sitting, Glenn Fry and Don Henley in a bar in LA, chatting about all the beautiful women who were obviously cheating on their husbands, and there was one standing at the bar with a, and I quote, fat, much older, wealthy man, and Glenn Fry said, "She can't even hide her lying eyes." And as he got the song from that line, and my favourite line is the actually the first verse. It's a rich old man, she won't have to worry, she'll dress up all in style. But late at night, a big old house gets lonely. I guess every form of refuge has its price. Yeah. I think that's a superb line. So Lion Eyes, as you said, 23. 2 in the States it was. One of These Nights, I think, was a number 1. but Lion Eye's only a 2. Right, Jeff, sorry, back to you.
Well, while we're here, I mean, this is a throwaway, really, but while
Go
we're
on.
here, we might as well stick with that sort of thing because Bernie Leadon is playing acoustic guitar on this one.
Okay.
Yes.
Standard pop, rock, groove all the way along. So it's a great little song. The world's most prolific special guest featuring artist. So, like, look on any album, look on any show, look on any, and this guy's on it. Always.
As a
There's
single,
O'Connor.
There's
O'Connor.
number 6 in the UK, November 1975. Because we were very, very rude, horrible little boys when we were in 1975 at school, we used to say that this song was about making love with a blind girl.
Nobody you stinks.
If you
done that.
spoonerism,
You know what I mean?
Huh?
No, I was going to say.
Sorry, why are you
I'm not
casting
suggesting.
aspersions about me?
I'm not casting aspersions. I just thought, well, you two must know what.
Oh, Pete, I don't know. If you spoonerism the title of the song, that's where you'll get to.
I'm going to be really annoyed
duck
when you
now
say
for some
this.
reason.
I've just broken Colin's roll.
Oh my word!
Who is on everything? Who he plays with? Eric Clapton. He plays with everybody.
Andy Farewell Alone. Oh,
Andy Farewell
wide-eyed and legless.
Wide-legged and eyeless.
Wide-legged and eyeless.
Wide-eyed
Yes,
legless,
indeed.
yeah. That was 75. Yeah, I got it on a long list here, but I didn't choose it.
I'd forgotten that completely. Tune.
It's just a throwaway song, but it's a good song. It just rolls along doing what it does, and Andy Fairweather is really good at that sort of thing, which is probably why he plays with everybody.
He does. He had an album out a year or so ago, actually, a new album.
Yes, he did have a new album out fairly recently.
Was it his last one? Because it could have been called Amen then, couldn't it?
Hold on. I've missed the joke here. What have I missed?
He was in Amen Corner.
He was in Amen Corner, wasn't he? And at the end of everything, you say Amen, don't you?
You do, but because I think of it as Amen Corner, maybe it is Amen Corner. I've never called them Amen Corner. Are they actually called Amen Corner? They know would have got it, but I'm thinking of Amen Corner. But I suppose
I think it depends whether you come from up north or from the
exactly. No, Sarah would probably say that's interesting. I'm going to have to ask her.
Hey up, Sivvy.
Hey up,
hey up,
trouble up, mill.
Your car in garage or in garage or garage.
That's Yorkshireman we've offended now as well.
But anyway, I didn't know until I was looking up the Bernie Leadon play guitar on it. So there's the Eagles. There's the Eagles bit.
He's been in a few bands as well, Bernie Leadon.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't in Poco, was he?
Good banjo player.
Richie Furay, his band, wasn't he?
The Southern Hillman Fury band.
Could be him. I don't know. But anyway, Wide-Eyed and Legacy. I loved Andy Farewell. Got his debut solo album in '74. He may have had a couple of singles from it in '75, like Mellow Down, for example. Might have been a minor hit.
This was on an album called La Boogaruga.
Yeah, that was his second one, wasn't it? His second one, which I wasn't so keen on. Wide-Eyed and Legacy isn't a bad song, I must admit. But I was a little bit disappointed after the first album for some reason. I don't know why.
Probably because the second one wasn't as good. They rarely are.
Maybe so. Okay, no, it's not me now. It's Pete. Although we've all had the same number now, actually, haven't we?
Yeah. I've got a long
behind
list.
us.
I've got a long list of albums, but I'm just going to do some of them. Jeff's one behind us.
Come on, Jeff, got another one?
Oh, I've got loads more, mate.
No, he just did one legless.
Okay, well, let's as you've kind of already gone there, let's have a look at this one. UK number 14, UK number 14, November 75. Although it didn't actually make the chart until early 76. So it was released in 75, but it didn't actually make the charts till 76. Is that allowed?
I don't know why that is. It's probably because Bohemian Rhapsody was taking up the chart.
It probably is.
It was 15 bloody weeks. Stupid.
Let's see if you can get the next line from this line. Thinking of my going, how to cut the thread and leave it all behind. Looking windward for my comfort, I take each day as it arrives. But
Hmm.
you like this song, Colin. I know you do.
I should know the lyric then, shouldn't I?
Thinking
Really?
of my going, how to cut the thread and leave it all behind. That's the bit that'll give it away. Looking windward for my comfort, I take each day as it arrives. But these misunites are the
Oh,
longest.
Cliff.
Yeah, Missionites.
Sir Cliff,
Stiff Richard.
Stiff the Cliff. So it's
Good song.
it's Cliff's best song, in my opinion. He absolutely nails it. He's got the right voice for it. It's sultry, it's breathy, which is what he does best. It's full of pain and angst and hope and wonder and everything else. But it's a lovely song, and he delivers it perfectly.
Do we know who wrote that one? As a matter of interest.
Dave Townsend.
Dave Townsend. Nope. Who's he?
See, he was the brother of Turnip Townsend, who invented something to do with the agricultural revolution.
Ah, that's him, is it?
I don't know who he
Might
is.
be a link.
But he
Or
wrote quite a lot-
Andros,
He wrote
who
quite a
played
lot.
for Spurs and Crystal Palace.
Andros Townsend, yeah.
Yes.
I can't think of any others. It must be another Townsend.
Andy Townsend played for Aston Villa
Andy Townsend, yeah.
and Chelsea.
And there's a poor
Is he on Sky Sports or something? Sports Talk.
Yeah, terrible
Yeah.
at it.
on something. Yeah.
There we go.
Right, okay. Mission, yeah, I agree. It's Cliff Richard, but it is a good song.
It is a good song.
It sounds like a backhanded compliment if there was one.
That is a backhanded compliment.
It is.
Go for it anyway.
Now, I think you've had 5. Pete's had 5.
Who's counting?
No, who cares? Who
Colin
cares? Who's next then? Go on then, Pete. You go.
Me. I'm next. Okay. So when I looked at this, this is a single off an album. It was inexplicable to me, given what a great song it is, that it didn't chart in the UK at all, or if it did, it was so far down the numbers it didn't register. And it only got to number 23 in the United States of America. And I would say that probably it is this artist's most famous song, or it is one of his 2 songs that he is best known for amongst those people who are not particularly fans of him. So if you say the artist's name, people who don't know the artist particularly will go,
That song.
that song.
But it wasn't a hit here.
And he's also written quite a few songs that have been done by other people, some of them better than his versions.
I think I know. I'm prepared to
Go for it.
Neck on the line, have a
Go.
guess.
Go.
Born to Run.
Yes. Born to Run, Bruce Springsteen.
Good shout.
I mean, it's inexplicable to me. If you try and think, what is a great pop rock song? Born to Run is going to be one of the first songs that comes to mind. It has got everything. And
Including Double Denim.
which I'm a massive fan. I mean, triple, quadruple denim. I mean, just bring the denim on. But but how did it only get to number 23 in the US and not chart here at all? It's inexplicable. It's a wonderful song. It's a good album, but along with Born in the USA, Dancing in the Dark, I mean, the big hits. I think this is the best of the lot by some distance.
I think you're right. Obviously, it wasn't his biggest hit over here because it wasn't a hit at all. But yeah,
No.
probably Dancing in the Dark's when he's. I know Streets of Philadelphia probably got a little bit higher, but it's not something that leaps out at you.
No, it's not.
It's strange why he didn't get a number higher in the States. Maybe.
Well, I mean, I guess that in '75 he was only just really starting, wasn't he?
Yeah, well,
He
he had a
hadn't- he
couple of
hadn't got-
albums before.
Yes, but he hadn't got the full. This
no,
was
he
his
hadn't.
breakout album.
This was his attempt to go a bit more,
a bit more mainstream.
Wide
Yeah.
mainstream. That's the word. And yeah, he kind of did with the album, I think, over there. But when you think about it, I think I'm right in saying that he didn't have a hit here in the UK until Hungry Heart, which wasn't until 1980.
Well,
Quite
yeah,
bizarre.
exactly. But he really didn't become really super popular until Born in the USA.
Born in USA, yeah.
That was his breakout album here.
Yes,
But,
definitely.
and just out of interest, Noel
Yes.
Edmonds, the diminutive gnome-like Radio 1 DJ, it's his favourite single of all time. It was the one he chose on his Desert Island Discs.
Not sure that's a good sign.
I just thought I'd tell you. I'm sharing that little
I
factoid.
remember Miss Christie from Whitebridge.
Yes.
She taught Noel Edmonds.
I thought you were going to say, do you remember Miss Christie from Whitebridge? She sang with the E Street Band, which I would have been a lot more impressed by.
You could have been invited on stage to dance to Dancing in the Dark instead of Courtney, maybe. You never know.
Can you imagine?
Was she an elderly lady, was she?
Well, not in comparison.
A middle-aged
comparison with some of them.
Oh.
There was a teacher. My first teacher in junior school was a woman called Gertrude Galliford. That's a hell of a name. She used to wear twin set and pearls. She was every inch the English school teacher of, like the 50s and 60s.
Like Agatha Christie, or Miss Marple.
Miss Jean Brodie.
Yes.
Right. Go on then, Cole.
Go on, me again.
We start reminiscing even more.
I've got a single from 1975, which was on an album. You'll be pleased to know. Strangely, only a number 22 hit here, but a number 4 hit in the US. But this artist had more success singles-wise over there than he did over here for a considerable amount of time. This was taken from his album. I don't know what number album it was. Probably, in my view, his last great album for me, although it's still going now. It was his last single in 8 years. Sorry, in 8 years. Last single in 8 years to feature his original band. The original band members being Dee Murray, David Johnston, Nigel Olsson.
That's Elton John's band.
Elton John's band, and it's Elton John, and the album track from Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy is, I think, one of Bernie Taupin's greatest lyrics. Sort of semi-autobiographical history of their early period in the music business, Elton John and Bernie Taupin, and their struggles to find their place in the industry. And Bernie Taupin's lyric was written originally in 1968 when Elton John was engaged to a lady. No
Renata.
less.
Ah, Renata.
No. Renata was
married.
She went off with Renee, didn't she, in the latter stages of her and made another truly dreadful record. Renata. No, I'm not going to Save Your Love and all that. No, this was somebody called Linda Woodrow, who was, itching for him to marry him, but he was reluctant. And
why?
one of his best buddies, Long John Baldry, so he named his surname came after the name Long John Baldry, actually. He told him to sidestep that relationship, forget about it. And Elton John, in fact, it is reported anyway, had an attempt at his own life around this time when he put his head in the oven but forgot to shut the windows in the apartment. So it was a failed attempt. So he can, and it was Someone Saved My Life Tonight. So Someone Saved was Long John.
I was just going to say, is it Someone Saved My Life Tonight? Yes,
it's Someone Saved My Life Tonight, and it's Long John Baldry, who he calls Sugar Bear. Bernie Taupin called Sugar Bear. So yeah, I think it's a beautiful song. Great song. As a sign of respect to Long John Baldry, Taupin just wrote him into the song as someone in the title, but also called him Sugar Bear. So yeah, one of my top 4 Elton songs, actually. We won't go into what the others are. We'll do that on another day if we haven't already. So Someone Saved My Life Tonight, 75 for me, for Elton.
Right. Okay. So another album. This single it only got to number 50 on the US Billboard, but it got to number 6 on the UK Rhythm and Blues chart. And it is a Holland Hollands song.
The Supremes did the original, did they?
No idea.
Okay. Interesting.
And it is a band who were very much by now in the eye. Had a few successful albums. West Coast.
75. West Coast. Do you mean like Bristol? Something like that?
Yes. Obviously, like Bristol. I was thinking more the Scilly
Are we
Islands.
talking Steely Dan?
No, we're not talking Steely. Although Steely Dan did have an album this year, and it did have singles on it, and that is on my list. But they didn't chart.
Katie Lied, yeah.
Yeah. What were the singles on Katie Lied?
Bad Sneakers.
And
The other one.
When Black Friday Comes, great song, one of my favourite Steely Dans. But they didn't chart. Neither of those singles charted anyway. So they were, singles that didn't do anything. Okay, I'll put you out of your misery.
Give us a song. Give it the artist.
Well, if I give you the song, you'll get the artist, says West
All
Side.
right, okay.
It is the Doobie Brothers off the album Stampede. And the song is Take Me in Your Arms, Rock Me a Little More.
And that was covered. That was, Take Me in Your Arms.
Take Me in Your
Arms.
Arms.
Yeah. Who did the original then?
I have no idea. But whoever it wasn't as good as the Doobie Brothers version.
No. On that album, could have chosen this, but I didn't. It didn't get to be a hit here, but it did in the States. I like the opening track of that album, which was a single.
I've got Stampede now, but I can't remember what the album track is.
Sweet Maxine.
Oh, Sweet Maxine. Yeah. It's a good album, but I on that Doobie's Greatest Hits album that everybody owns, when it the one that came out, this was the one that really grabbed me, which I didn't know at the time. All the early Doobie stuff, listen to the music, etc. But I thought this is a really good version. It's a real rocker. So really like it. And it did get to number 6 on the. R&B chart was the Rhythm and Blues chart in the 70s, wasn't it?
Back in the old days, it was a proper chart. It was a proper Rhythm and Blues. Yeah.
Yes, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, but not in 70s. In 70s was that?
Yeah.
I'm trying to see who did the original song. I mean, I could think of Gladys Knight and the Pips, Take Me in Your Arms and Love Me, but that's not the same song, is it?
No.
Unless they've changed the lyrics around.
Although, strangely, Gladys Knight and the Pips did have a hit single in 1975.
Which is on your list?
It got to number 4, and it was The Way We Were.
It's a great song.
It's a great song.
Great song. Despite the fact it's got talking at the beginning of it.
I'll tell you who did the original version. It was Kim
Did
Weston.
you say it got Tolkien at the beginning of it? Was it The Lord of the Rings?
Tolkien, yeah, there's a bit of talking at the beginning of it. Yes.
Oh, lovely.
Talking. I can't speak proper.
Talking. Oh, yeah, the way we were.
Tolkien.
Yeah, that's why I prefer Barbara. Beautiful Babs, forget her name. I prefer her version of the one we were. Barbara Streisand.
Oh, was it Barbara Streisand who did it?
The Way We Were, yeah. Well, it's
Right.
Marvin Hamlish song, isn't it? Marvin Hamlish.
Yeah, it is a Marvin Hamlish song.
It is.
He could write,
Anyway, have we got to the bottom of who did Take Me in Your Arms?
Yeah, Kim Weston.
Never heard of them.
Kim Weston. She sang with Marvin Gaye. A lot of artists sang with Marvin Gaye with Holland songs.
She's like a Great Youngin sort of person or something.
Yes. It Takes Two. That was her.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Good
Takes
song.
Two, baby. That one.
Yeah.
There
It
must have
didn't sound at all like that song that you just did, but we know what you mean.
No. Not unusual, though, it must be said. Right.
That was Tom Jones.
Take all these.
Is
these are
it
just
my
coming
turn
thick and fast. Yeah, it's your turn, Jeff.
Okay, here we go. Pete hates this song.
Good start. Strong start.
UK number 10. It was actually that was early '76. It was released in '75 and charted in the States in '75. It's one of my favourite songs by this band. Pete, I know, absolutely loathes it, but it's a great, catchy, good old English double entendre lyric. Alan Parker wrote that it was like the Beatles' Obla Di Bla Da, and the
Oh, I hate
original
that.
demo
Yeah, you hate that.
had bluegrass banjos on it instead of the actual instrument that it was played on. And the person
singles
playing this
didn't-
instrument learned to play it in one afternoon.
Singles didn't have banjos on it, you say?
The demo had the banjos on it, the single didn't, no.
The single didn't.
The single had a different instrument that he learned to play in an afternoon.
Solo artist,
No, band.
band. It wasn't in any.
Very
Okay.
untypical of the band. This is folky, sort of poppy, a bit of folky rocky sort of thing. And the band are far louder and heavier and more energetic.
75 though.
Yeah, 75 in the States. Early 76 it charted in the UK.
No, I'm going to struggle with this. I no doubt kick myself
Hey,
when
pick
you.
a song you hate.
Is it Meatloaf?
No, English band.
Oh, sorry, English band.
Four-piece English band. Lead singer, guitarist, bass, mad drummer. Aren't they all?
Oh, is it The Who?
It is the Who.
Squeezebox.
Oh, not Squeezebox.
Box.
Oh, it
Yeah,
is
yeah,
shit. It's an awful song.
It's a
I like
great song.
It's awful.
I like it.
It's absolutely catastrophically nuclear train wreck awful.
Okay.
Just one question though, Pete. Do you not like it?
No, it stinks the
But
place.
can
out.
you believe that Pete Townsend learned to play a squeeze box, whatever they're called,
Accordion.
an accordion in an afternoon?
Yes, because he's a musical genius, and he should look in the mirror every day and be ashamed that he was involved in Squeezebox because it's grotesque.
I like it.
I
it's
like it too.
awful.
It's 2-1.
Utterly
You've lost.
2-1.
awful.
You lose.
You lose.
I don't care. I would rather be on the losing side. It stinks.
There we are.
All right. Okay. Right. I'm going for. Well, I've got so many I could have here. Let me think.
So we've got another 40. We've got another 35, 40 minutes yet.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll go for the other live thing that I was going to choose before. This was recorded live at the Kursaal in Southend.
Is it a local Kursaal band?
No, it's not. They are a band from the southern part of England's capital. Let's put it that way.
South
Down,
London's
down.
finest.
South London's finest, status quo. Yeah, they
Yeah.
followed up their number one single, Down Down,
Which was
which
Down Down.
could have chosen sort of because it was number one in
I've got it on
75.
my list for you.
I've got
Yeah,
it on my list
but
for you as well.
it was released in 1974, and that's kind of the way that I was working my list out. I could have done, and I thought, oh, I'll throw the next one in. Much against the record company's idea, or they didn't think it was a good idea at all to follow up the number one with what they were known for, which was live performances. So they had, for their 13th anniversary in 75, because they formed in 62. That's 1962, not 1862. That was another anniversary. But yeah, they did a 13-minute EP containing 3 songs. The catalog number was Quo 13 as well. The lead track got all of the airplay, and it still got into the top 10. It got to number 9 in 75. The lead track being Roll Over, Lay Down.
Yes.
All right. And the other
Right.
songs on
I
the
noticed
other
this.
side of the EP were we've mentioned this before. As you were going on about the pronunciation of this word,
Are we
or
talking about Gerd and Dula?
Gerd and Dula, yeah, two German friends of theirs apparently,
German
which
friends,
I've always
yeah.
called Gerdundula. I always called it that when it came out,
Gerd
but
and
it's really
Dula.
folky, isn't it? And it's just like
Yeah, it is.
there's times
Yeah,
when bands, rock bands, all sort of come forward to the front of the stage and they have a little drum kit and
yeah.
acoustic guitars or whatever, and a uh, not an accordion necessarily, but they might well have done. And then they finished the EP with Junior's Wailing, which was their opening stage live show opening as well. So that's what I've gone for. Status Quo. It was actually called Status Quo Live EP, but it was Roll Over Lay Down that everyone remembers.
Okay.
That's
Cool.
me.
Okay. Well, I am going to go with this album was released this year. It was the debut album of this band, and it spawned 4 singles, one of which got to number 9 in the United States of America, and one of them, which I think is the better single, got to number 35 in the US. And there were 2 other singles which charted kind of in lower numbers, all in the US. So they were totally unknown in the UK at the time, not now, because kind of into the early 80s, they had a couple of massive hits. And at the time, in 1975, they were quite unique, being as they were girlies.
Oh. Ah. A girl band that weren't big in 75, but had their first
They
album
started in 1975, and the first album was really successful and spawned 4 singles.
and none of them were hits over here. We're not talking the Runaways again. That was too early for 75, wasn't it?
No.
Way too early for the Bangles.
Yes. Way too talented for the Bangles.
I like the Bangles.
Oh,
I
no.
quite
Girls'
like
School?
Bangles.
Girls' School?
Girls' School.
No. The lead guitarist would be counted amongst the great female lead guitar, or the great female guitarists, along with Bonnie Raitt and people of that ilk. She is a proper brilliant lead guitarist.
Mm.
And the lead singer is obviously also a girl.
But if it's a girl band, that's quite likely, isn't it?
Well, I don't know whether it's all entirely girl band. There might be a man lying around somewhere, but it's certainly a girl band.
Oh, a bit like Steps.
Very like Steps, yes. Faye from Dunstable. Don't knock Faye, one of our most famous daughters. Her and Badly Drawn Boy.
H was in Steps, wasn't he? I think was he in Steps, yeah. Or as he would call himself, H. And I ate that when they do that.
Well, now, strangely,
Ian H. Watkins. There's a classic. Do you remember when the guy from the lead singer of the Lost Prophets? I don't know why I'm laughing.
Don't go there.
I don't know why I'm laughing about this, because he's in jail now and he will be for the rest of his life for the whatever he was up to. But they were talking about him getting locked up. Ian Watkins was his name, the lead singer of the Lost Prophets. And next to the name of Ian Watkins, who's this child molester, was a picture of H from Steps. He sued them. I'm not surprised.
No, absolutely.
Anyway.
I don't know why I started talking about that, but we're talking about girl bands. Girl bands.
Brilliant guitarist, fantastic singer, never heard of them, don't know who they are.
Akin to Bonnie Raitt, you said?
They come from Canada.
This should be fairly obvious, shouldn't it?
They're really famous. They're really famous. They've had a lot of really successful singles
over here since.
A lot of success and a lot of successful albums, and they're brilliant live. Oh, I'd love to see them. I haven't, but I'd love to see them live. All right, I'll tell you what the album is, then you tell me who the band was and what the singles were.
Oh,
The
right, okay.
debut album was called Dreamboat Annie.
Oh, now that rings a bell. Dreamboat
For
Annie.
me, it doesn't.
Heart.
Heart. Anne and Nancy Wilson. And Nancy Wilson is just a brilliant guitarist. In fact, I was watching something on YouTube the other day where she was doing a little thing talking about what a pleasure it is playing the mandolin and how to learn the mandolin. And she was talking about how it's strung, and it's basically like a 12-string guitar, only with 4 strings, 8 strings. And then she said, and you get a really nice sound out of it. And then just off the bat, she played the Battle of Evermore by Led Zeppelin. And of course they did the Led Zepp induction at the Kennedy Center, didn't they? So
Did.
their version of Stairway to Heaven.
Stairway
is
to Heaven. Yeah, I've played that a
absolutely
few times.
fantastic. Anyway, so
Is it Barracuda?
No, the 2 singles were Magic Man, which got to number 9, and Crazy on You, which got to number 35. And Crazy on You is one of their biggies that's played all the time. And I've got Heart's Greatest Hits, and it's terrific. There isn't a duff track on it. Yeah, I'm going to go with Crazy on You, which I slightly prefer to Magic Man, but I love both of them.
Okay, look.
Wasn't Magic Man Lemmy and the Family Cooking or something?
Very possibly, but I think it's possibly a different version.
That was You Can Do Magic.
You Can Do Magic Man.
That was a good song as well. You Can Do Magic Man. Also, You Can Do Magic was by America, but a completely different song.
That's true as well.
I know.
Yes,
Yes, it is.
Okay. US number 1. Got at the very, very bottom, 70-something or other in the charts over here, I believe. Written by this band's lead guitarist, not their most famous singer and songwriter, but the guy who's credited with the band's original style. It's a hard funk, soul, rhythm and blues, Take No Prisoners sort of song. On Motown, off their second album, which was called Caught in the Act.
Are there lots of members of this band?
5, I believe.
Oh.
Are they brothers, but they're not brothers?
No, they're not brothers, or they may be brothers, I don't know. Their lead singer and main songwriter is megalithlically famous now. But at the time, he was just their lead singer and one of the songwriters.
I was thinking Earth, Wind and Fire.
No, and I was thinking the Isley Brothers.
Yeah. Chic.
No, more famous than that.
The Jackson 5.
Nope.
Because there were 5 of them. Start mention.
Good shout. And there were 25 of Earth, Wind and Fire, so I don't know why I said that.
They were brilliant live. I saw them live.
I saw them live. Did I see them live with you? No, I saw them live.
No, I saw them at Empire Wembley. The sound was appalling, but the stage show.
Oh, hang on. Right.
They went on to become very much a soul ballad pop style sort of soul band.
Was this an instrumental?
Yes, it was.
Machine Gun?
No.
Commodores.
But the same band.
Oh, I had it.
Right, so it's Commodores.
It's the Commodores, yeah.
Commodores, yeah. What else did they have? Zip Gun?
It's the same instrumental in the same way as. Actually, it's not an instrumental. No, it's not an instrumental. My apologies.
Not an instrumental. Okay.
I've got their greatest hits album somewhere, so it must be on there. I'm just
Bon Jovi had a song with the same title. Shall I tell you?
You give love a bad name. Living on a Prayer.
Slippery When Wet.
Slippery When Wet. Yes, that is a proper funk number as well.
It is a proper funk song.
It is a proper funk number. Yeah, you're right.
And it's when the Commodores were good, before Lionel Richie made them into something which was barely palpable. That's not the right word, is it? But you know what I mean.
Palatable, but you were
palatable,
close.
That's the word.
It had the right It had the right
Other was
letters,
what my
but just
heart's
not in the
doing.
right order. Yeah.
We can make words up on this podcast.
Oh, I can't believe this.
We can do what we want.
I'm having a very bad night.
If Pete's right over your twice, he
Oh,
was.
it's just, I might as well give up and go home.
That was.
Can I throw another one in?
Guinevere had a very bad night. It was Sir
Sorry,
Lancelot. Go on. What did you say?
Slippery when wet, yeah? No, I was just saying, shall I go on for my one then?
Yeah, go, yeah.
It is me, yeah, all right. I'm going to throw a curveball in here, and although this guy had a number one hit in this year, this was the follow-up to that number one hit, actually. And he had one other number one, I think, in 74, which is his first one. A singer and actor. Appeared in, this will probably give it away, but in films and stage shows. No? This song it got to number 13 in the UK, which is kind of a poor showing after number one, but I think it was a great song. I'll just tell you what the number one was, and you'll get the artist straight away.
David Soul.
You're close with half of that word, with half of that name.
But it can't be Soul. It's got to be
David Essex.
David Essex.
Yeah,
Yes,
David
not
Essex.
Soul.
It's I looked at this and thought, shall I choose it? And
Which
then
one is it?
against it?
No. Well, the song that was number one was "Hold Me Close," which I do love.
Right.
Actually,
Yeah,
I love that song. But this is a much softer, quieter song around, love and longing and desire for a lasting connection with a girl. And he's like a London lad. The lyrics, because he wrote all these songs, of course. If I could love you forever, if I could take your hand, would you understand? Convey the sense, I'm being all serious here, convey a sense of yearning for a deep lasting affection. And then there's a reference to mundane occupations, allegedly plumber and waitress in the song, and the imagery of riding a bus to Canning Town, number 9 bus, I think it was.
Okay.
I'll just tell you what the song is in it. And they end up picnicking in the park, going to places on a Saturday night, evoking a sense of nostalgia and romantic charm. The song, which you're going to say, what, is called "If I Could."
What?
Exactly. Well done. You did that in
unison.
In unison, yeah.
It was totally in unison.
That was in unison. Where is Unison anyway? I've never been there myself, but
it's on the Euston Road. It's a big building. It's got Unison written on the front of it.
Yeah, that's very true, actually. Yes, indeed.
That's what it is. Anyway, I might play it tomorrow. I'll play it tomorrow, and then if you're listening at the time,
I know quite a lot of David Essex stuff, but that one doesn't ring a bell.
No, it's the same. David Essex, I always wanted his hair.
Did you?
Yes.
I wanted anyone's.
True. That's a fair point. But he always had luscious locks. David Essex was a man with luscious locks.
I'd have settled for his voice personally, but there we go.
Yeah.
Well, he was a bit Essex, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Very good.
Go on, then.
Okay. Right. So, this is an interesting one. So, the single I'm choosing is one of two off this album. The single got to number 8 in the United States, but in 1976. So it was one of those ones towards the end of the year. It got in the States in 1976, but it got to number 44 in Germany.
Oh,
and no, hang on, and it spent 61 weeks.
Well, can I guess the country?
In the charts in Norway. Right. 61 weeks in the charts in Norway. The first single is also the title track from the album. And the single which got to number 60, which spent 61 weeks in Norway, is a cover of a song done by someone else, but I can't remember who. And this
covers tend to be.
I'm going to slap.
I'm owed some tonight. Come on, give me a break.
You later. This album is, I think, generally regarded as being the one that gave the band its career, and if it hadn't have been successful, they probably would have broken up. And they're from Scotland.
I'm not going to do it again.
But they are named after a town in Israel/Palestine.
Jerusalem. Nazareth.
Yes, well done.
Got one.
But
Well done,
they're
Jeff.
not. But
Nazareth.
they're not named after that.
No, I know they're not, but
They're named
it's
after the band, so Robbie Robertson song, Put a Road into Nazareth.
Yeah.
Is where the guy, the lead singer, whose name I can't remember now.
Dan McCafferty.
That's the fella. He went, oh, I like that. We'll call our band that. But that's why they called Nazareth.
It's a great song. The Weight.
Yeah, The Weight, yeah.
The Weight. Yeah, great song. Anyway, so the album is called Hair of the Dog.
Yeah, and the single is?
The first single was called Hair of the Dog, obviously. But the one that spent 61 weeks in the charts in Norway was Love Hurts.
Really? Which was Everly's song, wasn't it? Well, they might not have written it. It was probably one of these husband and wife duos. Was it Felix and Boudleaux Bryant or something like that?
I've got no idea.
Also, Jim Capaldi did a version of it.
I was going to say Jim Capaldi did a version of it.
From Traffic fame, yeah.
Yes.
So did he die young, Jim Capaldi?
Well, not horribly young, but he certainly didn't do the full 3 score years and 10. Anyway, so Hair of the Dog by Nazareth and Love Hurts.
And McCafferty does sound Scottish, must admit.
He's very Scottish.
He was very Scottish, wasn't he?
Yeah. I always, for some reason, I always think of when we used to. We used to call him Phil McCafferty, and it was Ben Dune and Phil McCafferty.
Will you? So far, you've done that. You've mentioned the bloody Lost Prophets. I'm just going to throw Gary Glitter in, and we've got the trifecta of nonces.
We haven't got Jimmy Savile yet.
Good grief.
Right. Okay, so Love Hurts, Nazareth for you.
Yes.
Jeff, you got another one?
I have. This is a UK number 5. Sad, melodic, soulful, sexy song. Film title track. Sung by the star of the film. Jerry Goffin, Michael Massa, written. And if you don't get this, I'm going to walk away.
Is it a female singer?
It is a female singer.
Is the female singer sometimes on time, but sometimes not?
Possibly, but I don't get the reference.
No.
Okay.
For 1 minute there, you'd frozen on the screen.
Right. Is the song Angie Baby by Helen Reddy?
No.
But Helen Reddy or not? See what I did there?
No.
I can see
No,
what you
do
did
with Helen
there.
Reddy.
Well, that was in the song. That was in the charts, and it did get to number 5. So that was a reasonable shout.
It was worth a shout. But it's not a film, is it?
But it's not
I've got no idea.
This is a film.
Film in 75. Well, not The Way We Were, is it? That didn't do particularly well, did it? But she did sing that.
This lady performed a year or two ago at the coronation, I think.
Oh. Yes.
No, it wasn't them.
Do you know where you're going to?
I do know where you're going to.
And
You're
it's
going
Diana
to the
Ross.
right song.
And the film is Mahogany.
Mahogany, yeah. Diana Ross.
And her live version at whatever it was it the Queen's Party or something? I don't know what it was.
Well,
it was awful.
She couldn't get well. She didn't have any fallback, did she? She couldn't hear what was going on at all.
That's never good.
No, it's not a good.
That's like when we got our first null point.
Mahogany, is that Barbara Streisand?
Diana Ross.
Oh,
Diana Ross. Yeah. Of course it is. I've got it on my album. Yeah. Mahogany. Good song.
But it's a beautiful song.
It is a good song.
He delivers it.
Was the film about collecting furniture?
No, it was about illegal transport of wood from the rainforests.
Really?
No.
No, he's making up, just like you are.
It's called Mahogany.
What? Why was it called Mahogany?
I don't
Was
know.
What was it about?
I've never seen it.
I don't know.
But it's
It was
great
about some guy who was singing about his pig and the middle part of his leg.
What?
Mahogany.
Stop it. Make this go
Could be a
away.
pub name. Could be a pub name. Couldn't it? It's a good song though, Jeff.
Three Carat Line.
It's a very good song. I didn't know it was in the charts. That's a good shout.
Do you know where you're going to? Right. Okay, I'm not going to dilly-dally with this. Carpenters. I had to have a Karen Carpenter.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw there was a Carpenter's.
I've got one of them.
It's on my list for you.
There were two, actually. They did a wonderful cover of Please Mr. Postman.
Yeah.
They did.
Which was
And then the
earlier
one
on.
that you've chosen, which is
Only Yesterday.
Only Yesterday. Yeah, great
Which
song.
was
Have
the
we all got
12th.
that?
It's
Have
on
you
my
got it?
list.
I've got it.
Jeff?
I've
You've
got
got
it on
it.
my list.
Oh, right, excellent. Was that the one on your 10?
That was one of my 10, yeah.
Excellent. So we had duplicates on that one. I just love it. It's a ballad with like a little bit of a infectious beat to it, isn't it? And her dulcet multi-track vocals. And yeah, the line. I just really love the way he just scans the line. It was Richard Carpenter, John Bettis song, who also wrote "Goodbye to Love," so they can't do any wrong, really, can they? The way they get "Only Yesterday," when I was sad and lonely. And the line that I really like, I don't know why, but you showed me the way to leave the past and all its tears behind me. It just sort of rolls neatly into the Only Yesterday chorus. And it got to number 4 in the US, number 7 in the UK from the Horizon album.
Absolutely nothing wrong in that song.
Nope.
It's almost a perfect song.
That's why I chose it. And
Very
while
good.
I'm on it, I'm going to do another one because I think I'm actually one down on everyone. And I'll leave that one to the last. He sniggers. I mentioned Pilot earlier on. This is a song. I don't know why I love this one, but I do. It was before they were big.
Oh, I've got this one as well, I think.
No, it was before they were.
It wasn't January.
It wasn't January, which came out in February, I think, or something strange.
It did. Yes.
Which is the one I've got.
And it was before Magic, which was
Okay.
their first big hit. It was their first single, and it flopped in '74. So, but they re-released it in '75. So I'm sort of counting it as a '75. They might have re-recorded it as well, but I don't care. The song was, and it sounded a bit like January, as you can imagine, with the hand clapping and stuff like they did on January. And the song was called Just a Smile. And it's one of those you think, oh yeah, I love that when it was out. But I bet if I listen to it now, it's like a film. You know, you loved the film when it came out, and you always quoting the film and doing that. And then when you sit back and we're gonna have to look at that, and you look back at it, you think, why the hell did I like this? It's pretty dated and horrible. But I like that song.
But
Just a
at
Smile.
the time, it did the job.
It did the job, and it still does. I do love it. It's Just a Smile.
I've got January in my list.
January, sick and tired of you.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's produced by Alan Parsons.
Yes, a
From
lot of
the
stuff.
Parsons Project. And to go back to a previous conversation, which I had forgotten about,
Yeah.
Dave Townsend was a vocalist for the Alan Parsons Project.
Was he?
Was he on
Wasn't he?
iRobot?
Do what?
Was he on iRobot, which is the Alan Parsons Project's biggest album?
I have absolutely no idea at all.
Just checking. You know, I thought.
Did the guy from Pilot play a double neck guitar? Am I getting the right band from my memory?
I don't think so, but you might be right. Might be right. It was David Patton, wasn't it, or Payton?
David Payton, yeah. Patton.
Payton, yeah. Had his dodgy dad, didn't he? He was the manager of the Bay City Rollers for a little while, wasn't he? I think it was his dad.
They had a hit this year as well.
They did.
They
Which
did.
you haven't chosen.
I steered well clear of.
What haven't you steered clear of then, Pete? What you got next? We've got.
I've got 3 left on my ones off the album, so I'll do one of them.
One of those quickly then. Or
got
give us a
to-
you know?
Well, do you want me to do 2, and then I'll just do one at the end?
Go on then.
So let's do a twofer. Number 31 in the United States of America, one of the great musicians of all time, certainly the greatest poet, I would say. And his album that was released in 75 is, I would argue, one of his greatest albums. We are talking Bob Dylan. We are talking Blood on the Tracks. And we're talking single?
Hurricane.
No.
Oh, that was in
Tangled
Desire.
Up in Blue.
Up in Blue, yeah, good song.
Which got to number 1 in the United States of America.
Hurricane was released in 75 as well, though.
What, the single did? Really?
Number 31 in the US. That was it.
I thought it said number 1. Sorry.
No, 31.
Oh, right. Okay, that's more like
it. Didn't do anything over here. And then the other one, which I realised came out, which I had to mention, and I'll save the other one for last, was got to number 27 in the United States of America. It is off the third album by my favourite Southern rock band, who we've all been to see live at least once.
I know the answer to this as well.
And it is
Saturday Night Special.
Saturday Night Special, Nothing Fancy, Leonard Skinner. So there we go.
Jeff, what you got left?
I've got one left,
Good
which I can do very quick. I've got a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah. What's your main one?
So US number 1 didn't chart in the UK. Not right, not proper. Should have done. March 1975. Folk, rock, pop. We've had this conversation before, last week, the week before, and so on and so on and so on. Vastly underestimated for his ability. Canadian.
Oh. Yeah, I've got a song by him in my list. It's on my list.
Is it Rainy Day People?
It's Rainy Day People.
It's Rainy Day People.
Yeah, I've got Rainy Day People, Gordon Lightfoot.
Yeah. Which is great. It's just a good song.
I don't know it, but I like Gordon Lightfoot.
It's Gordon Lightfoot top to bottom. Like, it's what he does. And it's good.
Do you know what the Rainy Day People were meant to be? It's got Jim Gordon on drums, believe it or not.
It has. It's got Batman. But Batman's on drums again.
From Derek and the Dominoes, yeah. Commissioner Gordon. Yeah, watch out for the Rainy Day People. As Gordon Lightfoot said, it's watch out for Rainy Day People. They'll swoop in to take your girl when things get rough. So Gordon Lightfoot said the song's about the person waiting in the wings for a relationship to subside so he can move in.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, great song. Hence I got it on my...
It was his single before the wreck of the whatever it was called.
Hesperus.
Oh, you mean the wreck of the Edmunds Fitzgerald?
Yes.
I thought that came out earlier on in the 70s, actually, but... I mean, I don't want to put another mistake on your door.
I'm just going off the thing that was on the doodah.
All right, okay, maybe they re-released it then. Maybe they re-released it. I've got it as the follow-up to Sundown and Carefree Highway, which are two other great songs.
Right, what's your last one then, Cole?
Rainy Day People. Well, I've got so many I could choose for my last one, but. All right, okay. I'll leave that other one. I'm surprised that neither of you had this one in. Well, not this one, but a particular song by this band that had a big number 1 hit with it in the, I don't know, spring, summertime, I think it was.
I think I know what you're talking about here. Are we talking about 2 singles by the same band and you've chosen the one that wasn't number 1?
Correct.
So off 2 different albums.
No, it's on the same album.
Yeah, the album is the original soundtrack.
Yes, and the song I'm surprised neither of you got is "I'm Not in Love." I thought everyone would have that one.
Well, they did Art for Art's Sake in '75 as well, which is off How Dare You.
Oh, maybe that came out late '75.
Life is a Minestrone, which is. And
I've gone for Life is a Minestrone only because
brilliant song.
I just love it. Yeah, I mean, I'm Not in Love. It's one of those songs. It's a good song, and I just can't. I remember at the time thinking it was as dreary as anything when it came out. Maybe it's because I was listening to things like Feel Goods and the Count Bishops. It's an EP I've got here that I got. But I just thought it was dreary. I've grown to like it a bit more, obviously, but because it's a good tune.
It was my first year at university, and it obviously featured heavily in student discos as the last song. So therefore, it has a particular place in my heart.
Yeah, okay. So you had it on a reserve list or in your
I had it
list?
on my reserve list.
I had it on a shout out.
Yeah.
I just Life is a Mistress serves up with Parmesan cheese. Death is a cold lasagna suspended in deep freeze. Very good song. Very
Jeff,
good song.
Why
Sure.
didn't you have Who Loves You by the Four Seasons? Because I thought I got that down as one that you would, and then the other one I thought you would choose is "Loving You" by Minnie Riperton,
which is a great song. I could have chosen that. It's on my shout out.
Right, it's on your shout out.
There's a lot I didn't choose. I thought Colin would choose.
I just got that down as one that I thought you would go for.
Well, I didn't choose either of the Wings things because I thought you're bound to have them.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I listened to what the man said. I think it's a
what the
great
man
song.
said. Yeah, number
But
six.
There's also Magneto and Titanium Man came out that year.
He did.
What else came out that year? Venus and Mars Rock Show, which I love. But there's like Pete, you didn't have Bad Sneakers, which I expect you to have. You didn't have Autobahn, which I thought you might have as well.
I did. I kind of missed Autobahn, and I remembered it at the end, and then forgot to put it in. But we played it on the Colin played it on the show the other day.
And none of us had 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover.
No, well, we've done Paul Simon to death. But I had Katie Lied Down, and I had both Bad Sneakers and Black Friday on my album list. I just didn't do it. But the one I was going to mention, which I haven't, which I'll just chuck in now, is another. I think it's a cover. It is a cover version, Jim Capaldi cover, and it's Alice Cooper's version of "Only Women Bleed," which got to number 12 in the US. I love it. I think it's a wonderful song. And it's off "Welcome to My Nightmare," which was his album of the year. But I really like Alice Cooper, but I just think that is a really, really nice version of that song. I think he does it very, very well. Better than Julie Covington does it as well, doesn't she?
Yes, she did.
Yes, it's his song, isn't it? It's not.
I thought it's a Jim Capaldi song, isn't it?
No, it's an Alice Cooper song.
Oh, it's an Alice Cooper song. Oh, well, whatever. Anyway, I really like it.
Yeah, I remember getting the single. I did like it. It's very soft song for Alice Cooper.
Very un-Alice Cooper.
Very un-Alice Cooper, as you would say.
I think I'm a little bit distressed, if I may be honest with you both.
Yes.
We've gone through an hour and 3/4 of this, and no one has mentioned Mississippi.
Pussycat.
Call me what you like, sweetheart.
Nice paper.
Of all the songs that we got, it was number one for longer than anything else that year, wasn't it?
It was, but Telly Savalas wasn't number one as well. It doesn't necessarily mean
I didn't say I liked it. I just said we haven't mentioned it.
No, it was. I didn't mind Mississippi actually.
It was okay.
Playing that honky tonk guitar, that bit. Who Loves You?
Dutch or something?
Who Loves You? Didn't you mention Pete earlier on? Wasn't it? That was. Thought that was Kojak.
No, well, it was, but "Who Loves You" by the Four Seasons. It's a great song. It was the first of their kind of 70s ones, which I absolutely loved. So,
Colin, you didn't mention "Rocking All Over the World."
No, that's you mean John Fogerty?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got it. I've got it on my list. I can't mention them all.
Jeff, you didn't mention "Jive Talking."
No, didn't mention "Jive Talking."
There's so many. There's so many that we could have mentioned.
And "That's the Way." I like it. By KC and the Sunshine Band.
Oh, we're just listening to loads of songs from 75 now. Fair enough.
"Blanket on the Ground," which actually is a classic country song.
Billy Joe Spears, great song. Love it.
Song.
It's on my long list here. "Rockin' All Over the World" definitely in my. Well, I could have actually put. I was going to talk about Bohemian Rhapsody, but I feel that neither of you want me to, because that is the single of the year that everyone will think of from 75, and I still to this day
stupid.
No, I still think to this day
it's a classic song.
It's a sweet put together. It's got an intro. A ballad, and it's got an operatic passage, it's got a hard rock passage and a reflective sort of coda right up Stinky Street, but he hates it. And we know why. It's because of Greg Lake. But I think it's a brilliant record. I know you're not that keen on it either.
I'm not that keen on it, but It's a great song. It is a good
It
song.
is, okay.
And
is a
got
great-
everything that a good song
It is
should
a
have.
great song. I absolutely agree with you. It's just been done to death, and it is loved by people who don't like rock music, and that's what pisses me off.
Well,
It's rock music.
I
for
don't
people
really
who don't
care
like
who
rock music.
love it. I don't care who loves it. If I love it, then I love it. Neil gave me a few to read out, actually. If I can find them. Of course. Why haven't we mentioned this one? This could have been on my list, and I did choose Mr. Raffles, which was the follow-up single. Man, it was mean.
Yeah.
Just to be a bit left field. But Cockney Rebel, Make Me Smile, Come Up and See Me. What a song that is. Oh, he's got I'm Not in Love, Tennessee. He's got The Hustle, Van McCoy. Bad Company, Feel Like Making Love.
Yeah, that was
Sweet,
one
Fox
that I
on the
noticed.
Run.
Oh, yeah, that's on my list. Fox on the Run.
Sweet
Listen to what the
re-released
man's. Sorry?
Baldwin Blitz this year as well.
No, that was
That was
77.
73, but I think they
Yeah.
re-released it in 75.
Did they? I don't know that. I don't know. Maybe they did. Listen to what the man said was Wings, Love is a Drug, Roxy Music.
Yeah, that's on my reserve list.
Gladys Knight, without whom the Pips would be nothing.
Yeah.
The best thing that ever happened to me. Eagles, One of These Nights. And another one that should really been on my list. But again, I looked at the chart entry date and I think, or maybe it was release date I looked on this, but Boogie on Reggae Woman, Stevie Wonder. I always
Yes. Good song.
and
so
just so many I could mention.
we ought to do a shout out as well for Judy Collins, Send in the Clowns.
And in the Clowns, yeah, I've got that one written down too.
It's another beautiful song that got to
Love Will Keep Us Together by Captain and Tennille. Love a bit of Captain and Tennille.
Desmond Decker, The Israelites.
Was
that
that
was
the 13th time
re-released.
around?
Yeah, about that, yeah. Young Americans.
Yeah, Bowie.
There's a couple of
Guns.
Bowies this year, weren't there?
A couple of John Lennon songs, actually. Mr. Number 9 Dream and his version of Benny King's Stand By Me. Did I sort of mention Stand By Your Man earlier on?
Yeah, did.
Probably got to get a mention.
So I think what we've proved is that although 1979 wasn't a great year, there was a lot of songs.
Yeah, but you can say that. I think you can, any year you can pick up some great songs. You won't necessarily think it's a great year. I don't think 75 was superb at all, but you can always find some tunes. Top tunes. Right, we better end there because we're running over otherwise. Well, we are already anyway. So thank you very much, Stinks, and thank you very much, Jazzy Jeff. Stinks, you're off next week, aren't you?
I am, yes. I'm back. I am at Le Mans for the 24-hour race, which will be fun. And I should be back on the Tuesday night. So on the following Wednesday, I am available, but it'll have to be a chart because I won't have
Okay, well, sure, because we might be doing a chart next week as well with Jeff because we're going to on Tuesday because I'm not around from Wednesday through to the following Monday because I'm away in Menorca. Okay. So we'll sort something out there. Thank you very much. This podcast will be posted to the usual places over the coming days by Shaggy, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, as Jeff uses. And of course, one day, if we ever care, really, we'll be on.
I don't think we do we? On the BBC.
No, not really. No.
Stop it.
So all I've got left to say is, well, send your singles in you want me to play tomorrow or Friday. That'll be good. As soon as you can, both of you. All I've got left to say is good night from me.
It's a good night from him.
Good night from both of them.